30K followers, 3 million views. Did you see yourself as the content creator you are today?
I never thought that it would, turn into something like this, that I would get monetized, I would earn ad revenue. I never thought it would,
Do you think anyone can be a content creator?
Anyone can be a content creator. You can create any type of content and still gain a lot of followers as long as you have.
Kung may mga iba mang nanonood dito ngayon na nagbabalak gumawa ng content sa YouTube, paano, tsaka saan mag-uumpisa?
It's a combination of different factors, and pinakamahalaga doon is.
Let's start with the mid lane.
Well, first off, disclaimer lang. You would notice that pag nag-start yung game, ano ba yung mga lanes na unang-unang nag-lead? Tapos whoever controls the mid lane has better.
Let's talk about the Exp Lane.
A lot of people would disagree sa akin dito. In most cases, expected ang Exp Lane na i-hold yung ground nila without receiving
Gold lane.
Yung gold laners naman, sila yung usually
hindi kills.
I mean, if you can, why not? The thing is, a lot of gold laners is
jungle player.
Well, first off, this is what makes playing as a jungler very challenging is kaya nga siguro maraming tao yung intimidated when it comes to picking that role. I mean, it's only one of two things eh. And again, this is in most cases assuming that you are playing a jungler na that way you can identify kung kailan yung power spike niya, what you should be doing at this stage of the game. Are you an early game hero or jungler na kailangan mong mag-rack up ng kills sa umpisa pa lang, mag-snowball, or are you a jungler na kailangan mag-focus more sa
what makes a good roam player?
Kumbaga, if jungler is the yin, roamer is the yang. There are rare instances wherein a roamer can be the thing that makes it difficult is very situational din yung playstyle ng roamer. Number one,
which items do you think are highly underrated?
honestly, I think I can only pick one. It's an item that's greatly effective against any damage type. It doesn't matter whether it's a physical damage, it doesn't matter if it's magic damage, even true damage.
If there was one skill every player should possess, what skill would that be?
Easily that would be, you can be a player who has very poor reflexes. You can be a player who's inexperienced when it comes to playing or controlling your own hero, and still win a lot of games if you have ang taas ng savage streaks nila. Parang they get a savage streak almost every game, if not every game, maybe at least once every 10 games. But they have very low, abysmal win rates. And that's because most likely they have.
What is the origin story of your name?
The story behind it is very unremarkable. I just wanted it to sound unique.
If you were to recall the most important moments in your life and pick the ones that made you into who you are, what moments would those be? And how did they change you?
I don't mean to sound na masyadong cliche, but I think it's having a family. I think it's definitely having a family. Kasi nga I'm always busy. I'm trying to juggle my career, yung work ko, and then yung YouTube channel, yung other social media accounts ko, and then yung freelancing gig ko. So yeah, I think kumbaga some people would consider it a waste of time. Like for example, starting a YouTube channel, a lot of people would think and say na it's a waste of time. Not my wife. My wife is very supportive. So the moment I told her, I'd like to try and create a channel. What do you think? First thing she asked me is, I think this is one of my problems. I'm not a very expressive person, and I think I'm not giving enough credit to my wife, pati sa kids ko. So probably, no, not probably. So this is definitely, if they are gonna watch this is gonna be the first time that they would hear.
D. What is the origin story of your name, Dbringer?
I always get that question. The story behind it is very unremarkable. Yeah, like back in the day when I was in college, and I think it's pretty obvious naman for a lot of us, MOBA players, nagdo-Dota kami. We used to play Dota. Dota 1, the Warcraft 3 mod. And one of my main heroes was Dbringer. So I was known for picking Doom. So obviously that's where Dbringer came from. I was trying to come up with a name that is unique, but still sounds like it's an actual formal name. I just wanted it to sound unique, but something that has a ring to it, pero hindi siya obvious na directly derived from Dbringer. Kumbaga, ganun siya ka-obvious.
With Dbringer Streams, 30,000 followers and 3 million viewers. Ano yung pinakamalaking achievement na ng Dbringer Streams so far as Mobile Legends is concerned?
For those that are unaware, ako lang mag-isa nagmamanage yung channel. Obviously, I do the gameplays. I do the research, data gathering, editing the videos. Ako lahat ng gumagawa nun. So, the fact that people are following kahit na sometimes there are still lapses sa videos ko sa quality ng content. It happens when you're doing things on your own. Mag-isa ka lang. Tapos puyat ka. You just got off work. Sometimes stress builds up, which results in inconsistencies or mga misses. So the fact na lumalaki yung following is a big achievement for me, considering na yun nga, mag-isa lang ako nagmamanage yung channel. For a lot of people, maybe that many following across TikTok and YouTube is not much, but for me, it is definitely. Especially since wala rin naman akong background sa YouTube to begin with. When I started the channel, joke lang siya. Yeah, it was just a hobby. It was just a joke.
And I understand from a hobby, from a dare to a hobby, and I understand Dbringer Streams is now kind of recognized by Mobile Legends, the game itself, as a key opinion leader.
Yes, we are expected by the marketing team of Moonton to promote the game. We fulfill requests or missions, as they would like to call it. We upload content kung ano yung relevant dun sa current events or current marketing campaign ng developers.
Is this paid?
Yes and no. Technically, it's not. However, remember sabi ko, they give us missions na kailangan naming fulfill. Well, not really kailangan. It's not a requirement. Pero if we wanna gain rewards, kailangan namin siyang gawin. Let's say meron silang bagong release na skins. Mag-upload kami ng mga content na related to skins na yon, or whatever marketing campaign na meron yung developers. And then they would give us view-based rewards in the form of diamonds, yung in-game diamonds.
Okay. So they don't pay you in fiat money in cash, but they do pay you in in-game currency?
Yeah, exactly.
Pwede na. Lalo na kung nag-enjoy ka naman sa ginagawa.
Yeah, I'm one of the stingiest person ever.
Ano yung stingy?
Kuripot.
Ah, yun pala yung English na. Okay.
Yeah. So, never akong bumili ng skins. At all. Like, yung mga skins ko, regalo lang sa akin ng friends ko, ganyan. So, yeah. Thank you, friends, for gifting me skins. Never akong bumili ng skins. And then, yun nga, after kong maging key opinion leader, yun yung first time ko na mag-participate sa mga events kasi binibigyan nila kami ng mga diamond rewards.
Ano pinakamagandang skin na meron ka ngayon? So, ano?
Yung legend skin ni Valier. Transformers, pati KOF, almost kompleto ko na yun. A lot of I don't know what you call it, pero theme skins, I guess.
Oo, parang theme skins.
Parang gano'n yan. A lot of those almost complete na. And that's all thanks to, the rewards.
Dbringer Streams have over 30,000 followers across all social media platforms. And surprisingly, 3 million viewers. I saw this when I went through your about page or about section ng YouTube channel mo. So, I have to ask. Maraming content creators na gumagawa ng Mobile Legend stuff. If I'm going to ask you, what makes Dbringer Streams unique sa mga mata ng Mobile Legends players? Ano yung value na meron siya na surefire kang wala yung ibang channel?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say naman na surefire na wala yung ibang channel. But I must say, one trait na meron ako and yung channel na probably not a lot of YouTube channels have is yung interaction ko with the community. So, unlike a lot of YouTube channels, I really respond to inquiries, questions. Kaya ko rin sinishare yung gaming email address ko. I get a lot of questions sa email ko. I interact a lot of comments. I really make sure na kapag meron silang questions, I try or at least try my best to answer everything as honestly and as much as I could. And if I can't answer it, I also rely on the insights of other people. And I think that's what makes it unique. Kasi it's not just me helping people grow into better gamers. I'm also showing everyone, even I myself, have space to grow, have an opportunity to grow. Na kumbaga, we are in this community as a whole, we rely on each other, parang ganun. Kasi, and it's very true because it's not just the content ideas na nakukuha ko sa mga viewers, sa mga subscribers. Sometimes may natututunan din ako sa kanila. And I'm sorry, not sometimes, madalas na may mga natututunan din ako sa kanila. And yun din yung ginagamit ko to further improve the channel. Not just the type of content that I'm releasing, not just the topics that I want to discuss, but also the quality and the accuracy of the information that I'm sharing to everyone.
Ano yung mga typical na tinatanong sa'yo sa email or sa comments? I mean, what questions do you normally receive from your followers?
A lot of times, especially nung lumago na yung channel, a lot of people have identified my channel as a channel dedicated to fighter heroes, bruisers, XP laners. So, usually pumapasok yung mga tanong when it comes to itemization and also decision making, which is yun yung mahirap sagutin whenever they ask me situational questions. Because the thing is, when it comes to decision making, wala namang cookie cutter solution.
One of the reasons you built Dbringer Streams is to lessen the toxicity and improve the gaming experience for everyone by sharing your knowledge and experience. What are these toxicities sa Mobile Legends game?
Sometimes yung mga ina-upload ko, kumbaga pinapakita ko doon na whatever the situation is, whether meron akong teammate na to throw, whether meron akong teammate na ineffective dun sa game, hindi ko sila tina-trash. Kumbaga, I'm a person who dislikes yung idea na kailangan mo pang awayan yung teammate mo eh. So, doon pa lang pinapakita ko na you don't have to do that to your teammates. Hindi mo kailangang i-disrespect yung mga kasama mo.
Oo.
And then number 2 is, yun nga, yung I provide in-depth guides sa mga tao. I strongly believe kasi na when people have better decision-making skills, that also means na mas gagaling sila sa game. It cannot guarantee na mananalo sila 100% of the time. Pero it will definitely help them improve or increase the odds na mananalo sila. Therefore, if they are doing the right things, if they are winning more, or if they are lessening the chances that they screw up a game or magkamali, then malalesen din yung chances na their teammates or sila ipi-flame yung isa't isa. Like for instance, you have a teammate na they are underplaying or very underwhelming performance nila. If you are good or if you have above average decision-making skills, pwede mo silang mabuhat. You don't have to flame them kasi alam mo kung ano yung kailangan mong gawin. Alam mo kung paano punan yung pagkukulang ng kakampi mo. Therefore, in a way, it indirectly lessens toxicity.
Since nasa game na tayo, let's talk about the move. Let's talk about the game. Let's start with the mid lane.
Okay.
Ano yung primary role ng mid lane? Ano yung non-negotiable role ng mid lane sa isang game?
Well, first off, disclaimer lang. Obviously, depende sa team comp ninyo, especially kung ano kayo, kung 5-man team kayo. Sometimes nabe-blur yung objectives or yung purpose ng every role or ng every position. Pero yun nga, just for the sake of this conversation, kumbaga, let's stick with kung ano yung basic goals ng bawat role. So yeah, mid lane. Well, first off, a lot of times, usually, mid lanes are tasked to ensure na may-maintain nila yung pressure sa mid lane. Napaka-importante kasi ng mid lane. Siya yung pinakamaiksing lane sa game. You would notice that pag nag-start yung game, ano ba yung mga lanes na unang-unang nag-meet? Mid lane. Exactly. Yun yung unang-unang nag-meet yung mga minions sa mid lane. Siya yung pinakamaiksi, tapos whoever controls the mid lane has better map control din. Kasi let's say for example, na-push ninyo yung mid lane ng kalaban at least one turret. Yung outer turret nila na-push ninyo sa mid. That gives you more control dun sa purple buff ng kalaban. That gives you more control dun sa river na malapit sa mid lane. It gives you better control dun sa larger area ng map. As opposed dun sa side lanes like Exp Lane and Gold Lane, yung top and bottom lane. Top and bottom lane, now to be clear, I'm not saying hindi importante yung top and bottom lane. Important din sila. Pero pag na-push mo ba yung top lane, ano yung masasakop mo? Well, yung half lang na yun.
Oh,
pag na-push mo yung
edge lang,
lane,
corner lang ng map na yun.
Exactly. Same goes din sa bottom lane, yung corner lang ng map na yun. But, kapag na-push mo or na-pressure ninyo successfully yung mid lane, mas malawak ngayon yung map control ng team ninyo. Kaya nga, mid laners, usually, binibigay ito sa mga hero na mabilis mag-clear ng minion waves. Yun yung unang-una. Kailangan mabilis sila mag-clear. Next is, kaya rin kailangan sila mabilis mag-clear kasi expected din sila na tumulong pagdating sa lane support. In other words, ganking. Di ba yung, minsan, you're gonna hear people say, dalaw naman. Or tulungan mo naman ako yung mga side lanes. So, yun yung expectation sa mid lane. Dumalaw sila sa either lanes or in most situations, tumulong sila sa jungler para ma-overwhelm yung kalaban. Whether that's through invasions, ganking either side lanes, expected na tumulong yung mid lane. And speaking of pagtulong, expected din na present sila all the time sa pagsisecure ng major objectives like the turtle.
Let's talk about the Exp Lane. What is the stereotypical expectation for the Exp Lane?
Okay, well, first off, and I think a lot of people would disagree sa akin dito. I'm sure maraming mag-disagree. In most cases, expected ang Exp Lane na i-hold yung ground nila without receiving any help from the roamer, from their teammates, or at least receiving minimal help.
Bakit?
Kasi, kumbaga kaya nga, if you would notice, a lot of times, XP laners are bruisers, tanky heroes, heroes with high survivability, heroes that are capable of regenerating HP, lasting sa battlefield for extended periods of time, hindi nila kailangan mag-recall ng madalas. That's because expected na i-hold nila yung ground nila, yung lane nila. Either they apply pressure para ma-push yung lane kung nasan man sila, whether top or bottom man yan, para ma-push yung XP lane, or at the very least, ma-defend nila yung XP lane alone. And again, I'm not saying hindi sila dapat tulungan. Minimal support lang. Kasi, can you imagine, if you have a teammate na effective XP laner, that puts less pressure sa roamer ninyo. Hindi kanya iisipin eh. Ang iisipin lang niya, asikasuhin lang niya, yung jungler, yung mid lane, yung gold lane. Makakapag-focus sila sa ganks, makakapag-focus sila sa invasions, makakapag-focus sila sa pag-big sa gold laner, kasi hindi ka na iniisip as an XP lane. Kasi a lot of times, if the XP laner is underperforming, syempre mapipilitan yung kakampi mo na tulungan ka. Mangyayari, mapapabayaan yung gold lane. Pwede rin mapabayaan yung mid lane. Or mapabayaan yung jungler, ini-invade na siya, walang tumutulong sa kanya kasi tinutulungan pa nila XP lane. Kumbaga yung XP laner, they are expected na maging buffer na mag-pressure sila ng lane without getting any help from everyone else. And again, like I said earlier, minimal, hindi naman ibig sabihin wala. There are times din kasi na kailangan silang tulungan. Like for example, di ba yung turtle, as a lot of us know, unang-unang spawn location ng turtle sa side ng XP lane. So, unless nagbago yung patch, which I'm sure hindi, unang-unang spawn area ng turtle, laging sa XP lane. Kaya nga, ang effective jumblers and effective roamers, bago mag-spawn yung turtle, mag-a-attempt na sila ng gank sa XP lane. Tutulungan nila yung XP lane na mapatay yung opposing XP lane. Para by the time na lumabas na yung turtle, ready na, less pressure kasi defeated yung opposing XP laner, ang iisipin na lang nila is yung jungler ng kalaban, pati yung roamer ng kalaban or mid laner ng kalaban. Wala na yung XP laner na tutulong dun sa kalaban na yun. Mas less yung pressure sa kanila, mas mataas yung odds na masisecure nila yung turtle.
Gold lane.
With the gold lane naman, they're expected to, well, in most situations, carry if needed. Kasi a lot of times, yung core natin is the jungler and also the gold laner. Usually, ang nangyayari, junglers are expected to carry the game sa umpisa. Kumbaga sila yung starter ng rhythm ng team. Yung gold laners naman, sila yung usually fallback option. Kaya nga, a lot of teams or kadalasan yung objective ng isang team in order to be more successful is matulungan yung gold laner para ma-achieve agad yung power spike nila before even reaching the late game. In a perfect world, ganun yung magandang setting. Gold laners, magpo-farm ka lang. Yun lang, farm ka lang ng farm sa lane.
Hindi kills, no?
I mean, if you can, why not? The thing is, a lot of gold laners is lackluster sila pagdating sa early game. So, ang kailangan lang nilang gawin sa early game, ang focus lang nila,
Mag-farm.
yeah, farm minions, don't die. That's it. Yun yung main goal. And then, when things go south, doon na sila papasok, assuming na, yun nga, they didn't mess up their rhythm, hindi sila namamatay, nakakapag-ipon sila. Tapos, if the team needs it, sila naman yung magbubuhat ngayon para mabawasan yung burden dun sa jungler ng team. And actually, i-expand ko lang further yung sa XP lane. Obviously, lahat ng mga laners natin, I'll just call them laners, mid lane, XP lane, pati gold lane. Obviously, purpose nilang tatlo is i-pressure yung lane. If possible, especially yung XP lane, pati pati yung mid lane. Yung sa XP lane kasi, kaya siya important and vital din na i-pressure niya. Even though side lane siya, hindi naman ganun kalakas yung map control kung mapush niya yung XP lane. Pero, if the XP laner is successful na mapush ka agad yung lane niya, let's say na-push niya at least yung outer turret man lang ng XP lane, that gives the XP laner the opportunity para pumasok na ngayon sa team fights. That gives the XP laner the opportunity para tumulong naman na i-pressure yung mid lane. Kasi remember, di ba yung isa sa mga goal ng mid lane is makatulong sa team, sa ganks, sa objectives, invasions. Paano magagawa ng mid lane yon kung inaasikaso niya rin yung mid lane the entire time?
Ah.
Di ba? Kung sumasali siya sa clashes,
Ah.
yung mid lane, napapabayaan niya.
Ah.
But, if the XP laner is effective, na-pressure niya yung top, hindi siya natatalo, he's winning the top lane, or he's winning the, or they are winning the XP lane rather, makakatulong siya ngayon sa pag-push ng mid lane, giving the mid laner yung freedom para makasali sa mga ganks, mga team fights, etc. So, yun yung, I think, yun yung pinaka-impact ng XP lane. Kumbaga, it eased the burden for everyone. An effective XP laner requires minimal support. Doon pa lang, ini-ease na niya yung burden nung burden sa team. And then at the same time, kung successful siya sa pag-pressure ng XP lane, tutulong rin siya sa pag-pressure ng ibang lanes, especially yung mid lane, which again, lessens the burden sa team. So I think yun yung main purpose niya, to lessen the burden sa team when it comes to lane pressure, map control, etc. And if possible, sumama sa fights. Kasi kung hindi siya effective or efficient when it comes to lane clearing, pati lane pressure, hindi siya makakatulong. Ang mangyayari sa XP lane yan, wala nang ibang gagawin kung hindi mag-push, mag-defend, mag-push, mag-defend, which is in a way, it's helpful, nakakatulong, pero it's indirectly rin yung pinipila yung team kasi hindi siya nakaka-contribute sa team fights. So, ayun.
Let's talk about the jungle role. What are the stereotypical roles or objectives of being a successful jungle player?
Well, first off, this is what makes playing as a jungler very challenging is wala talaga siyang definite na specific. I mean, besides the fact that you have to make sure that you secure the major objectives like the Turtle and the Lord. I mean, kaya nga siya may retribution, right? Para malast hit nila yun. Masigurado yung team ninyo makakuha nun. Pero besides that, yung playstyle ng isang jungler may vary depende dun sa type of hero na ginagamit mo as a jungler. So, in order to be effective, you have to be a player na knowledgeable, familiar ka sa mga hero skill sets, yung strengths and weaknesses ng hero. Well, that way you can identify kung kailan yung power spike niya, what you should be doing at this stage of the game. Are you an early game hero or jungler na kailangan mong mag-rack up ng kills sa umpisa pa lang, mag-snowball, or are you a jungler na kailangang mag-focus more sa objectives? So, basically, ang pinaka-main role nila is depende sa type of hero that you have picked. It's either your goal is to rack up kills, especially if yung typical assassin yung pinik mo, mga burst damage assassin.
Amon style?
Amon style,
Amon.
exactly. Kailangan mong kung baga ikaw yung fire starter nung team ninyo. And by fire starter, I'm not saying na ikaw yung initiator. Definitely not. Ikaw lang yung mag-ignite nung rhythm ng team ninyo. And again, this is in most cases assuming that you are playing a jungler na maagang na-reach yung power spike, or in other words, mga early game junglers. Otherwise, if it's, let's say, a late game jungler, like Sun, for instance, kumbaga, maybe, in most cases, mas magandang mag-focus ka sa objectives or yung farming muna bago ka mag-focus sa kills. But again, kumbaga situational siya kaya nga in order to be effective, you have to be someone na knowledgeable and have above average, if not excellent decision-making skills. Kasi if you are unable to identify kung ano yung kailangan mong gawin ngayon, if hindi mo na-analyze yung situation, definitely hindi ka magiging effective na jungler. I guess, kaya nga siguro maraming tao yung intimidated when it comes to picking that role. I mean, it's only one of two things And this is just my observation, no? If it's low rank, kadalasan nag-aagawan sila. Kasi, I guess, to show off. Diba? I mean, killing is fun for a lot of people. Diba? And junglers, a lot of times, sila yung nakakaraming kills sa isang match. Pero, once you reach yung mid-elo or yung mid-ranks or higher ranks like Mythic, Honor, Glory, etc., then suddenly may mga tao na medyo intimidated kapag nag-jungle sila. Well, scratch that. Maybe Glory, hindi naman. More of Mythic and Mythical Honor. Medyo pressured yung jungler. Minsan magtuturuan yung mga players. If you're playing solo or with randoms, magtuturuan sila kung sino yung jungler. Kasi mabigat yung responsibility mo. And again, hindi straightforward yung playstyle ng isang jungler. Unlike ng, for example, Exp Laner. Exp Laner, maybe a lot of Exp Lane means magagalit sa akin pag sinabi ko to. But Exp Laners have a pretty straightforward playstyle. Pressure the lane, defend the lane, pressure the lane some more, maybe act as a vice tank, ikaw yung magpipil minsan, assuming na makunat yung fighter or yung pilik mong hero. Straightforward. Mid laner ka, clear the lane, sumama ka lang sa roamer mo or sa jungler mo, and then bumisita ka lang sa mga side lanes, and then that's it. With a jungler, a lot of times iba-iba yung playstyle, iba-iba yung approach mo sa game. Kumbaga, playing as a jungler, your actions are very situational.
Paano yung roam? Roam na. What makes a good roam player?
I'm not sure if you agree, pero I think of a roam as a, kumbaga, if jungler is the yin, roamer is the yang. In a way, medyo magkahawig sila ng playstyle. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila is, obviously, the jungler farms by clearing jungle camps, yung creeps, jungle creeps, buff, getting the purple buff, the red buff, etc. And yung roamer naman, obviously, hindi sila nakapokus sa jungling. Pero they almost have the same movement. Kumbaga, they orchestrate ganks. They need to make sure that they rack up as many kills as possible. Well, not the roamer dealing the killing blow, but the roamer helping out in making sure that their team or yung jungler nila or yung allies niya are successful in securing those kills. That way, they can open up opportunities in securing major objectives like taking the turtle, the lord, or pushing lanes. The thing that makes it difficult is, just like the jungler, very situational din yung playstyle ng roamer. Number one, hindi lahat ng roamer is a tank or a pure support like healers like Estes, Rafaela. Hindi. There are rare instances wherein a roamer can be a damager, like what I would call them assault roamers, or what most people would call them offensive or damage roamers.
Assault roamers.
Yes, exactly.
And yung counterpart nito?
Well, yun yung support roamers. Like,
Estes.
Estes, for example. And then tank roamers, diba? Or what I would also like to call them defensive roamers. Just like the jungler, very situational din yung playstyle ng roamer. So, you have to have good decision-making skills, definitely. Critical thinking skills. You have to be able to identify or predict yung possible place ng kalaban ninyo. Maybe some people would disagree, but I consider roamers as team captains. Well, at least in most cases. They have to be the most knowledgeable player in the team. Kasi nga, if a roamer fails, chances are, magiging domino effect yan. Everyone will fail. And I think, part of the reason why a lot of roam players are failing is indirectly fault of the developers. And I'm not gonna be surprised if I'm gonna get flamed for claiming that. But my point is, di ba pag nag-start yung game, tinuturo ng pag tumingin ka sa minimap or dun mismo sa field, sa playing field, ituturo ng playing field yung lane mo. Di ba meron siyang glowing effect? If you're playing the role of a roamer, ituturo ka yan sa gold lane. Kaya tuloy, ang daming new players or mga low-level players, low-ranking players, na nakastick lang sila sa gold lane the entire time. The entire laning phase, or worse, sometimes even beyond the laning phase, beyond the first 5 minutes of the game, nasa gold lane lang sila. They are babysitting the gold laner. That's okay sometimes. Kasi nga, obviously, the position or the role is called roamer for a good reason. You have to roam, which means kailangan alam mo kung kailan ka tutulong sa jungler, alam mo kung kailan ka tutulong sa mid laner and sa gold laner. Kaya importante na you should be able to identify matchups. You should be able to identify the right place. Ikaw yung magko-call ng shots as much as possible. And I strongly believe because of that, because of those necessities, yung mga ganung requirements in order to be effective, I strongly believe na roamers are very undervalued.
I agree. Oh,
Yeah, roamers are very
Sobra.
undervalued. Sobrang, I think a lot of good roamers deserve more recognition than they are getting. Kasi sila yung nagbubuhat talaga nung, I wouldn't go that far. Hindi ko naman sasabing
Oo.
nagbubuhat.
Oo.
Pero sila yung catalyst in order for your team to achieve victory. Parang, even if you have a very good jungler, even if you have a very good gold laner, if you have an awful roamer, the odds of you winning the game, medyo mababa pa rin. Pero if you have a good roamer,
mapagsisync niya,
yeah,
he can bring the team together.
exactly. Especially if you are playing tank setters, Atlas, Tyrael, or any hero that are capable of corralling or stunning or controlling multiple heroes at once, setting up team fights. Chef's kiss. I can't count the many times that a game broke down. Like we are in the
The
losing end,
tables were turned.
and the tables were turned just because of a well-timed setup. All because and all thanks to a roamer, an effective and a good roamer. So yeah, definitely, I strongly believe that roamers are very undervalued.
Let's talk about items. So just to wrap it up, if you were to pick, a few items or how many you like, pick how many you like. Which items do you think are highly underrated but super worth it?
Honestly, I think I can only pick one, and I think
What's that like?
yeah, I think that would be Twilight Armor. The Twilight Armor is not always useful, but I have seen and played a lot of games wherein it would have been super helpful, but people are not building it.
For those who are not heavy readers of the item descriptions and text, what advantage would a hero get if he uses Twilight Armor?
First off, Twilight Armor is an item that's greatly effective against any damage type. It doesn't matter whether it's a physical damage. It doesn't matter if it's magic damage. As long as it meets the threshold or the requirement to activate Twilight Armor's effect, that damage is going to be reduced. Even true damage.
I was about to ask you.
Exactly. Even true damage. Leslie, she deals upwards of 2,000 critical damage. True damage? Nope. Twilight blocks that.
If there was one skill every player should possess, and this skill will make the game a little bit less toxic. What skill would that be?
Easily that would be having good map awareness.
Without batting an eyelash, just
Nah.
map awareness?
No.
Why is that?
No questions asked. It's map awareness, definitely. I think everyone would agree.
Map
Everyone.
awareness.
You can be a player who has very poor reflexes. You can be a player who's inexperienced when it comes to playing or controlling your own hero, and still win a lot of games if you have good map awareness. But even if you are an excellent, even if you have rather excellent hero control, let's say magaling kang mag-pilot ng mga heroes, and you have very poor map awareness, chances are you would still end up with a lot of losing streaks, especially if you are playing solo. I'm not sure if you've seen such players wherein they have a lot of savage streaks. Ang dami nilang savage, ang taas ng KDA nila. But their win rate below 50%, 48, 45. I've seen a lot of that, especially in higher ranks. Mythical Glory, pataas. You would see a lot of players na ang taas ng savage streaks nila. Parang they get a savage streak almost every game, if not every game, maybe at least once every 10 games. But they have very low abysmal win rates. And that's because most likely they have poor map awareness. Kasi if you have good map awareness, everything follows. You'll be able to analyze and predict kung ano yung magiging play ng kalaban mo. You would be able to predict where the enemy heroes are going to be. You'd be able to avoid sticky situations. Mape-prevent mo yung pag-gank sa'yo. In addition to that, you'd be able to orchestrate ganks more effectively rin. It benefits all the roles. If you have good map awareness, mas mataas ang odds na mananalo ka. And in addition to that, mababawasan din yung toxicity. Kasi a lot of people hate, oy, mapa naman, tingin ka sa mapa, wala ka bang mapa, right? You'd be able to avoid situations like that if it's clear to your allies na nakikita mo yung nangyayari sa mapa, na hindi ka clueless kung ano yung nangyayari.
Lahat ng knowledge na na-accumulate mo so far, ganun ka naging content creator, tama?
Yeah. One of my friends, biniro lang ako na parang a very good friend of mine.
Do you wanna name him?
Dati kong co-worker. Lex. That would be Lex. So, he was a former co-worker of mine. So, and again, I'm not sure kung sarcastic siya nung time, pero he told me something along the lines of, ang dami mong alam, bakit hindi ka mag-content creator? Ang dami mong alam. And then almost hindi naman every day, but you know, a lot of times na nakikita kami, he would tell me, after playing a game, bakit hindi ka mag-start ng YouTube channel? You should start a YouTube channel. You should really start a channel to support ka namin. We are going to watch all of your videos, etc. Until eventually, I did start a channel. However, surprisingly, it didn't perform well. So I tried to experiment with other MOBAs. Kasi I play a lot of MOBA games, particularly mobile MOBA games. Even the less popular ones, even the less popular titles like Extraordinary ones, Heroes Evolve, On Miyagi Arena. I've played all of those, including more popular titles like Vainglory. So what I did nung nag-start yung channel, I did a combination of different gaming content from those games. Sometimes I would upload Vainglory, sometimes Wild Rift, Extraordinary ones, etc. And then I tried to identify kung ano ba yung nagpe-perform.
If I'm going to start a channel, I'm probably going to post a lot of videos about what I like, and then find which video works and then build off of that.
It really depends on what type of videos you are comfortable with. I really think that it's a matter of identifying which of your videos are performing well, and then trying to focus more on topics that are centered around that video. Like that's what happened to me. I uploaded a lot of mobile content, not just Mobile Legends, and then I noticed, I'm getting a lot of views whenever I'm playing Mobile Legends or uploading Mobile Legends content. So then I started uploading more Mobile Legends content.
Do you think anyone can be a content creator?
Anyone can be a content creator. You can create any type of content and still gain a lot of followers as long as you have dedication and consistency.
No secret sauce. That's just it.
That's
no
just
easy
it.
way.
Yeah.
I see.
When people tell me that, you have to create this content because it's trending, that's true. That's true. However, you have to also consider being unique, like what makes your channel unique. That's why not a lot of, but some YouTube content aren't helpful. They're not really trending. However, they are what some people would consider interesting.
Yeah, so anyone can be a content creator. Kung may mga iba mang nanonood dito ngayon na pang nagbabalak gumawa ng content sa YouTube, paano tsaka saan mag-uumpisa?
I think it's important that people are prepared mentally and meron silang realistic na expectations. Kasi one of the major problems with a lot of people are they're thinking of creating a channel with this idea that they are going to be famous or popular overnight. A lot of people have this maling akala na madali lang gumawa ng content, madali lang kumuha ng followers, ng subscribers, or madali lang makahakot ng views. I mean, in a way, I should say, madali gumawa ng video. Anyone can create a video, but not everyone can become popular overnight. In fact, majority ng mga content creators, it takes them years bago mag-flourish yung channel nila. Mr. Beast is a perfect example. Hindi naman siya, after niya gumawa ng channel, within the first month, popular na siya. Of course not. It took him years. I'm not a huge follower, but I think it took him almost a decade bago makarating sa kung nasan siya ngayon. So it really takes a lot of grit, a lot of iron will, determination to consistently keep on creating videos. Kumbaga, if you have unrealistic expectations, chances are, kaya ko ina-highlight yung expectations kasi chances are, if you have unrealistic expectations, gagawa ka ng channel. And then you have this very good idea for a content, i-upload mo siya with expectations that you are going to have thousands of views or hundreds of views immediately. And then hindi nangyari yun. Malaki yung possibility, if hindi realistic expectations mo, that you are going to quit right away. There are a lot of channels like that. They would create one video, they have this bright idea, and then all of a sudden they just never reach the views that they were expecting, and then they would just give up. I should say may mga techniques then in order for you to gain more followers immediately. And even if you practice the right techniques, even if gawin mo yung mga tamang diskarte, sometimes hindi rin sila automatically makakapagbigay ng views sa'yo eh. A lot of people would say you have to have a good thumbnail. You have to have a good production value or production quality. Maganda yung camera mo, naka 4K resolution ka, etc. That will never guarantee na magiging successful yung channel. It will help, pero that will never guarantee it. It's a combination of different factors. And pinakamahalaga doon is yung consistency and yung determination na ituloy siya. If you uploaded a video, no matter how good or bad you think it is, keep uploading. You didn't get enough views, you only had 5 views, keep uploading. Just keep uploading. And here's another thing. Whenever you are uploading a new content, try to learn from the previous video you have uploaded. At the very least, improve at least maybe 1% of the video. As in, kahit maliit na bagay lang. At ito rin yung common misconception pa eh. A good friend of mine who happens to be a YouTuber as well told me this way back na he has a reaction channel, so he does reviews of animes. It's called Dashing Kevs. He reviews anime shows, anime music videos or openings. And then sabi niya sa akin noon, I don't need to have high quality videos or high quality audio kasi the people are watching naman yung mga animes na yan and they wanna listen to my reaction. It doesn't matter kahit tunog basag yung audio ko as long as naiintindihan nila ako. Well, after a long period of time na hindi niya sinusunod yung recommendation na yun, he decided eventually na maybe it's about time na improve ko yung quality nung content ko. Maliit na bagay lang, he just changed mics. And then lo and behold, yun nga, nagkakaroon na siya ng mas maraming interaction. And again, it will never guarantee na magbo-boom yung content mo, pero at least an improvement of 1%. Every video na mag-upload ka can go a long way. Whether equipment man yan, or yung pinakamadaling way, which is yung ginawa ko, dinadagdagan ko lang yung value ng video. And then I try to analyze yung metrics or yung analytics nung channel ko.
Data-driven decisions.
Yeah, exactly. So, are my views dipping after the 5-minute mark, or saang part ba siya ng video ko nawawala na ng interest yung mga tao? Maybe I should remove some of that in the future. Maybe hindi ko na siya kailangan banggitin next time. Or for instance, yung channel ko, I started before na meron akong mahabang introduction, like, I think it's about 25 seconds long. Yung intro ko way
Oo.
up. It was 25 seconds long. And I thought, well, not a lot, but some people even commented that they liked the introduction. Ako rin, nagustuhan ko siya kasi it looks cool eh.
Oo.
But then, when I was observing yung analytics ko over time, napapansin ko, ang daming tao ini-skip yung intro. Like a lot of people, like maybe dun sa beginning ng video ko na may
Makikita mo yun kung saan sila nag-skip sa video?
Yeah, although if I'm not mistaken, you have to have a specific number of views bago siya lumitaw sa retention
Okay.
tab. It's in the retention tab. So napansin ko na sa beginning ng video ko, yung first 20-25 seconds, siguro nasa 20% lang yung retention ko, 10 to 20%. People were skipping it. At first, hindi. Nung bago pa lang yung channel ko. Pero over time, siguro kasi, you know, as nung nag-umpisa na ako mag-gain ng subscribers, pati yung mga returning viewers ko bumabalik doon. Napansin ko na yung beginning ng video ko na may intro, unti-unti pababa na siya ng pababa, palit na ng paliit. Eh sa YouTube pa naman, it's very important that you have a good retention as much as possible. Kung every minute counts, every second counts. If there's anything unnecessary, wag mong ipoprolong yung video mo. So, ganun yung nangyari sa akin. So, what I did is, I decided to maybe remove, although masama sa loob ko, natanggalin yung intro ko because I thought it was so cool eh. And some people were giving positive feedback pa nga na they think the introduction is cool. Pero, I guess, the numbers spoke louder. Kasi the statistics showed nga na, nope, not a lot of people like your videos having such a 25-second introduction. So, tinanggal ko siya. And then, I noticed nga yung improvement sa retention ng video ko. Suddenly, yung first few seconds ng video ko na meron akong drop or dip na 20%, suddenly, nasa 50% na siya. 80%, 70%. From the very beginning of my video, medyo pantay na yung retention graph ko. So, kumbaga ganon, you have to be observant, you have to review yung analytics mo, how your videos perform. If kung meron kang kailangan tanggalin, remove it or maybe change it. If you think your thumbnails are not working, it's not very effective, palitan mo, maybe change the saturation, gawin mo siyang mas vibrant, or maybe use more text, or maybe you are using too many of it, i-simplify mo siya ng konti. And again, it may not guarantee it, pero every improvement, kahit 1% lang yan, or kahit maliit na bagay lang yan, think of it na every improvement na gagawin mo sa video mo, it's 1 to 5 more views or 1 to 5 more subscribers. Maliit na number. Pero as you build your channel, those numbers will stack up.
Sumasabay yung numbers dun sa, let's say you have 100 subscribers right now. Just because you have them. Tapos dun sa specific time frame na binigay mo, may nadagdag na 5. Dahil nag-improve ka dun, let's say 1,000 yung subscribers mo, hindi na 5 yung madadagdag, 50?
In theory, yes. I mean, to be clear, I'm no YouTube expert, pero as far as the numbers go, usually that's the case. Well, at least for my channel.
Which makes sense. Totally reasonable kasi if I wanted to learn something, I would ask the people who are doing it. So, I think what you're saying has credibility, a lot of credibility kasi galing sa experience mo. D. We spoke about Mobile Legends. We spoke about your journey as a content creator, how you started it, and all the way to your journey as a KOL or key opinion leader, working side by side in a way with Mobile Legends itself, the company itself, with Monton. What if your subscribers wanted to know more about you? Like, who is D? Sino ba talaga si D? No? Growing up, did you see yourself as the content creator you are today?
I mean, no, not at all.
What did you want to be growing up?
I mean, when I was a teenager, at least, I had ideas of starting a channel. But I never thought that it would, turn into something like this, that I would get monetized, I would earn ad revenue. I never thought it would, go that far. It was basically an outlet for me. Like, if I want to express my ideas, there's this filter or barrier that I don't know, maybe subconsciously I felt like was, protecting me from whatever anxieties I had before.
30K followers, 3 million views. Was there ever a moment so far in your journey as a content creator na na-experience mo yung cancel culture? Meron ba?
I did experience criticism from other people. That now, when I receive criticism, I try to analyze whether they have a point or wala. Kumbaga, if I think they have strong points, I always, try to absorb as much as possible. Kumbaga, I'm not resistant to criticism. I try to actually use it to improve myself, improve my content. I don't just listen to people's suggestion, like if they want me to create a certain video. In fact, I listen more to their criticism. I don't always create a video na ni-request ng isang tao, but one thing is for sure, I always use yung criticism ng other people in order to improve my content further.
If you were to recall the most important moments in your life, and pick the ones that made you into who you are, what moments would those be? And how did they change you?
I don't mean to sound na masyadong cliche, but I think it's having a family. I think it's definitely having a family. Yeah. Meeting my wife, having my kids, I think it helped me grow. I think it helped me become more focused pagdating sa mga gusto kong makuha, mga gusto kong makamit. Because not only did I have inspiration, and don't get me wrong, I love my family, my moms. I love them. Pero
Moms?
yeah, moms. I have 2 moms.
We'll get to that. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I had a family, kumbaga, yung the weight of having responsibility, it kind of pushed me more. It kind of gave me the motivation to become better in everything that I do. Not just when it comes to my YouTube channel, but also the other things that I do, job, my career. Basically, if it weren't for my kids, if it weren't for my wife, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now. Like no, definitely not. While it's true that I did work hard, I am managing my channel alone. I am doing the content alone. I'm not getting any direct help from my family. However, the fact that they exist is the driving force in what the driving force yung nagtutulak sa akin na magpatuloy, nagtutulak sa akin na mas mag-improve every day, every week, every month. Yung patuloy na reason kung bakit ko chine-chase yung mga achievements na to. Kumbaga, the reason na hindi ako nagsisettle sa ganito lang, hindi ako nagsisettle sa, kumbaga hindi ako easily content. Kumbaga, the reason why I have ambitions, it's because of them.
Do they know, are they aware of the gravity of inspiration they give you?
I mean, I think this is one of my problems. I'm not a very expressive person, and I think I'm not giving enough credit to my wife, pati sa kids ko. Kasi nga I'm always busy. I'm trying to juggle my career, yung work ko, and then yung YouTube channel, yung other social media accounts ko, and then yung freelancing gig ko. So yeah, I think kumbaga I really need to communicate with them more pagdating doon. I think yun yung pagkukulang ko. I rarely connect with my kids and my wife sa ganung level. So probably No, not probably. So this is definitely, if they are gonna watch this is gonna be the first time that they would hear those words from me. Kasi never kong sinabi sa kanila yun.
Someday your kids might watch this video. And what is something you want to tell them right now?
Mhm.
But you choose not to because they won't understand.
I guess it's my drive for improving, like in everything that I do. Like I said, hindi ko nabibigay yung oras na kailangan kong ibigay sa kanila kasi masyado ako nakafocus dun sa career ko. And I think that's something na mahirap sabihin sa kanila, na very challenging na i-discuss sa kanila. But hopefully someday I would have the courage to tell them, especially since the kids are too young, like bata pa. My wife, even though hindi ko siya sinasabi directly, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, my wife is pretty bright. Kumbaga, naisip na niya yun. And the good thing about her is she's very supportive. Hindi niya ako pinipigilan sa mga naisip kong gawin, even though sometimes medyo parang risky siya, or some people would consider it a waste of time. Like for example, starting a YouTube channel, a lot of people would think and say na it's a waste of time. Not my wife. My wife is very supportive. So the moment I told her, I'd like to try and create a channel, what do you think? First thing she asked me is, what do you need? What do I need? Like, do I need a new phone? Do I need a new computer? What do I need? What do I need to start? She, like, no hesitations. That was her first question.
I'm not sure, and I don't really care if the algorithm cares about this or blocks these type of topics. Eventually, all of us will come to pass. How would you like people to remember you? What would they say about you long when you're long gone?
Believe it or not, that never really crossed my mind. And I'm not sure if that's normal or if it's just the way I'm wired, but I never really cared if if people would forget me, or if I would be remembered in any way, or if they would remember me as a villain or as a hero, or neither. For the longest time, I think I've accepted that the chances of me being remembered is quite slim. Or maybe I should say na hindi ko lang talaga siya iniisip. Because to me, once I'm dead, once I'm gone, that's it.
Gusto kong mag-start ng tradition sa podcast na to. Each guest must write down the best advice you can come up with that you know to be true based on experience. Here's the kicker. Yung advice na to, ipapakita dun sa next guest without you knowing, without all of us knowing who's going to be the next guest. Palagay ko oras na para iwan mo yung mark. What's your best advice based on experience that you know to be true? Thank you, D.
Thank you for having me.